Recruiting in 2020 was like playing life on easy mode. Those good old days are over. The overall market has shifted to becoming much more senior heavy, and I can vouch for this firsthand.
Hey guys, today we're looking into a video called The Broken Senior Only Developer Market. The link to the video is in the description below. Let's get into it.
Imagine it's 2020 and life is good. You just graduated college with 0 years of experience, and in technical interviews they're asking you to reverse an array in linear time or to solve threesome, but you've already practiced these questions over 100 times on lead.
That's the thing, like on lead code is going to say, right? Like, is this really helpful that everybody practices the same things and that people are checking this? I don't know, right? I feel like this is such a dumb thing. Yes, it's easy to analyze and it's easy to test, but like,
lead code. You go in blind and ask the community if you should take your $300,000 Facebook offer with a $100,000 sign-on bonus or go to Stripe where you hear the food is better.
Yeah. I think he's talking theoretically here. But the food is better. Like first world problems.
Dream of being worth $1 million in just a few years. Recruiting in 2020 was like playing life on easy mode. Every company under the sun was hiring and there weren't that many software engineers. So it honestly wasn't that hard to get a high-paying tech job.
I think there were a lot of jobs there already. The thing was companies were hiring like crazy. That was the thing, right? That's why it was so easy to get a job in 2020. Or 2021 or beginning of 2022 and then end of 2022 and then it fell off.
Those good old days are over, and just like Andy Bernard,
I wish there was a way to know you're in the good old days before you've actually left them.
because I would have done things differently. The overall market has shifted to becoming much more senior heavy, and I can vouch for this firsthand as someone who's recruited for most of last year, 3 months in the spring and then 3 months in the fall. At the senior and staff plus levels, compensation is just about where it always was.
Yeah, and that's also what I see. I've been writing in the past few days with people because I want to help students of mine get a job from my academy, right? And I want to get into the recruiting business and place a few people because like education is only the first part, right? The second part is actually then getting people for a job or to a job. And they say it's easy to hire juniors, but we don't need a lot of junior developers right now. We're looking for seniors or for experienced developers. So that is a problem. And this, I don't think it's the salary, like he says here, the salaries is the big thing.
For some industries like AI, even higher than usual. I read somewhere that engineers at OpenAI can make over $1 million a year, which is crazy.
Wow.
So today, I want to talk about the state of the software engineering.
What was there? Based on what I've seen, heard, similar philosophy, 300,000 here in cash and 600 in profit participation. Okay, so it's not like you're getting 900K or $1 million.
I can make over $1 million a year, which is crazy. So today, I want to talk about the state of the software engineering market. Why is it the way it is? And then more importantly, what are we going to do about it?
Hey guys, before we continue with the video, a quick info. Our Black Friday deal for my Data Engineering Academy is here. That means you can now save 30% on the 12 months access or unlimited access to my Engineering Academy. You will get everything you need to learn data engineering for only a fraction of the price. So head over there, learndataengineering.com and use the code BlackFriday24 to get the 30%. This is only valid until the 30th of November. So again, head over there and let's make the end of 2024 and especially 2025 your year. And let's continue with the video.
How can you remain competitive and stand out in an increasingly competitive market? If you don't know who I am, hi, my name is Naman. I graduated college in 2020 and then joined a fintech startup in San Francisco called Bolt. I was there for 3 years before I got laid off, which puts me at just 3 years of experience, much less than the 5 to 7 years of experience most software engineering jobs today require.
But like with the requirements, that's always a thing. People are going to say you need 5 years of experience. But you can do so much within 3 years. It's crazy. So I think 5 is just a number so that they will not get people who are in 1 year, right? Who are basically beginners. Otherwise, I can't see this. because somebody with 3 years of experience has basically everything that you need. Maybe not on a soft skill level or on a management position level or a team lead level, but from a developer side, if you place them right with the things that they have done in their previous job, no problem.
So trust me, I have felt this pain. How the turntables. And I'm here to tell you how to overcome it. This video is the first in a multi-part series documenting my entire recruiting experience. Part 1, this video, explains why it's so hard to get a tech job right now. Part 2 walks you through every single interview question I ever got, because yes, I documented everything. And then part 3, TBD, if I get a job, pray for me, then we'll also talk about that. Now, I'm not alone. Many people in the industry...
I don't know how old is this video? This video is 8 months ago, so I hope that he got a job. I'm going to check that later.
Have been feeling this sentiment, including Software Engineering Diaries, who posted this video just a couple months back. Let's start off by talking about why this is happening. Why is the market so biased towards seniority? Well, let's go to LinkedIn. Right now, if you search for entry-level software engineering jobs, you'll be hard-pressed to find anything. Even listings that don't have the word staff or senior require 3 to 5 years of experience, and sometimes...
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. And I don't see why people do this. Okay, this is Amazon Music, so it's with Amazon. They most likely have higher standards or want to draw only the best and the most experienced people. But
sometimes even graduate level degrees like masters or PhDs. In fact, I can't remember the last time I saw the word new grad anywhere. The lowest title I've seen is Software Engineering 2, which still means a mid-level software engineer with about 3 years of experience.
But this is all Microsoft, right? When you look at, because I've done this on LinkedIn, I looked at LinkedIn and I looked, for instance, for data engineer roles. There are a lot of data engineer roles. If you look for Netflix, for Microsoft, for Amazon, these big ones, maybe you're right, but I think with the not so hyped companies, you can still find good jobs.
And this makes sense because a lot of my junior engineer friends are having so much trouble even getting interviews. If we think about software engineers more broadly as a pyramid, then we have the more junior, inexperienced engineers at the very bottom, and they make the bulk of this pyramid. Then we have some mid-level engineers, then the senior staff, and then the god tier engineers at the very top. So
I like this one. This is a cool graphic, the god tier software engineers. I think that one of the coolest levels is actually being here. This is actually the mid-level software engineers. This is one of the nicest levels that you can have, because as senior staff, you also have other responsibilities. You need to manage people, you need to manage projects. There's a lot more weight on you as a senior or staff software engineer. If you're just a mid-level engineer, can treat this as a 9 to 5. Yes, you are going to have your goals, but ultimately, who's responsible? This guy here. So I think when I look back, yes, from a salary perspective, these were not the fat years. These were not the years where I made a ton of money. But from a responsibility and from a life was good experience or standpoint, that was actually the mid-level years were the awesome years, where you were doing your job, everything was fine. These guys here were taking all the heat if something came up. They were under pressure. They were, of course, then putting the pressure down on you. But like, you were just a mid-level engineer. This is actually a good position to be in. Not everybody is made for going here towards the senior, towards the staff. That's not for everyone. Maybe you don't want to be a team lead. Maybe you don't want to be a managing projects. You don't want to talk with everyone who is involved in the project, right? So that's just a quick rant, but take a look at this. You don't need to go here. If you're a mid-level engineer and you're fine with it, stay with it.
So this is the supply. To get a rough idea of demand, we can follow the general US economy. And that usually means looking at an index fund like the S&P 500, which tracks the 500 largest companies. And as you can see, from 2020 to 2022, we saw a bull run like we've never seen before.
Yeah,
it was
it was
COVID,
crazy.
people were home, spending more money online, and software businesses were booming. Inflation was low and money was
Yeah, because everybody was at home. People were watching Twitch, YouTube, were doing online courses, were doing remote work, were ordering stuff, right? Everything, like people were thinking this is going to go to the moon. It's going to go crazy.
was cheap. So in such an economy, companies adopt a growth at all cost mentality. And the fastest way to show growth is to build more products and invest in new revenue streams, which means you hire a ton, and you don't care about years of experience. You just need manpower. You already have some tenured engineers, you have a roadmap, so all you need is all hands on deck writing code. So from
Is this the good thing to do? Yes. So you have a good economy, money is cheap, you're going to try stuff, you're going to bring in people, and then you know, okay, if this is going down, if this is not going to work, you're going to fire people. I don't know. Yes, it's because being agile, that makes sense. But hiring a lot of people already in the back of your mind, if this goes down, I'm going to fire them. I feel bad. I think I would feel bad to do this, to not give them a long-term outlook on life, on job security.
From 2020 to 2022, it was reasonably easy to get a high-paying tech job. But then COVID-19 hit, and companies started decreasing the perks and benefits they offered. There was no in-person work anymore, so no free food. You couldn't really go anywhere, so no happy hours and events. And this is important because it started...
By the way, this is only for in the US. Okay, this might be a thing. If you're a Europe guy like me, this is completely irrelevant because we never had this. This was never here. In my old company, a company with 300,000 employees, you have to pay for your lunch, right? And this was like 10 euros a day if you want to get a nice lunch. So you had it great.
A trend of cost cutting, because when you lower costs, you instantly see a higher profit, because profit is just revenue minus cost. And that means analysts on Wall Street start looking more favorably at your company, which means the stock price goes up. Now, I'm simplifying a lot, but hopefully you get the gist. So then what happens in 2022? Well, COVID starts ending and the world basically goes back to normal, but not the good old days, because we enter a recession, since inflation is at an all-time high. So companies scale back hiring, sometimes even freezing it entirely, and start laying people off. And
yeah, you were able to see this, how this was going down, and slowly but surely everything was slowing down. There were indicators, like in Germany we have companies who are doing these indicators where you see, okay, now they're going to push the brakes, investments are going down, and hiring is going down. You can clearly see this, and this was middle of 2022, yeah.
And the tech industry comes to a halt. And who do they lay off? Well, it's not the god tier super senior engineers.
Of course not.
It's a lot of the 1 to 5 years of experience, the junior to senior folks. Now, don't get me wrong. A lot of super senior engineers...
Also, it depends on which projects you're in, right? If you were hired as a mid-tier, as a junior engineer or junior developer, and you were hired for these new jobs, for these new projects where they already knew if this is going down, we're going to fire everyone. Yeah. Then it didn't really matter for the job level. It was just your job wasn't there anymore.
Are also let go, but oftentimes because they're overcompensated for their market value, maybe there's title inflation, or their business line is no longer necessary, which means they just get unlucky. So let's go back to the pyramid, the supply. It's no longer balanced. It's now bloated at the bottom with a lot more mid to senior junior folks on the market looking for jobs.
Yep.
What I'm trying to say is that there's an unsustainable amount of more inexperienced engineers. When the industry...
The other thing is also, like, and we've seen this in another video, another reaction video, because people right now, they don't have enough mid-tier people. In the long run, they don't have enough senior people because they can't bring people up to the next level, right? That will also be a problem because then they are only going to get the mid-tier people, the junior people, and they will not find enough seniors. That's totally normal.
Industry really biases towards expertise. Now we fast forward to late 2022 and the economy is recovering. Companies start hiring again, but sparingly. There are a few job openings, but they're biased towards senior engineers, which makes.
By the way, he said something very interesting, that it's important to have like experience, right? And you can get experience even though if you're not working, right? You do personal projects, you try to find interesting things to do and then build a portfolio, and this way you can show people what you have done, what skills you can do, so you don't basically fall back or fall behind throughout the time that you're unemployed, because you can actually bring yourself up through this and gain new experiences.
Makes sense, because one senior engineer can basically do the work of 2 to 3 junior engineers. So even though they command a higher salary, it's still.
I don't know. It's usually these are different things that seniors do than juniors.
Cheaper to get 1 versus 3 engineers, and salaries are down anyway. So if there's any time to get senior engineers, it's right now.
I don't know. Is one person able to do as much as 3 juniors? In certain areas, yes. I don't know if that's the right thing, because I can see that a lot of juniors, if you bring them in, and if you have one senior holding their hand a bit, they can be very dangerous. They can do a lot of stuff, more than one senior could do. So
Senior engineers need less onboarding. They have more experience, they can
That's
lead
true.
teams, and even better, they can mentor existing junior engineers so they too one day can become senior. So
exactly what I'm saying. The goal of a senior is not to develop like crazy, is to mentor the ones below so that they can go up. If you don't have people on the bottom or middle, you can actually mentor them to go up to a senior role.
So if it wasn't already clear, senior engineers are way more valuable to a company than any amount of junior engineers. And that's the
normal.
reason companies like Netflix for a long time would only hire senior engineers. They're difficult to replace, they build more things, and they make the company more money. And because I love analogies, if you think of the tech industry like a Costco, they break even or lose money on their junior engineers, and they make their money on their senior engineers. So on a rational level, this makes sense. But just like you, I'm still angry. Because when I apply to jobs, I just don't get interviews. And even if I do, I'm competing with people with more years of experience, which means they'll do better on system design interviews, and they have bigger projects that they've led, so they just seem more competent. But let's say for a second, my destiny is in my control. I brush up on my skills, I do a bunch of practice, and I crush every single interview. Well, I'll still get email rejections like this, where they'll basically.
There's nothing specific that you fell down, or they just have slightly more relevant. Well, the thing is always with these kinds of letters, people take this to heart, right? And you need to look at it from the other side. What can the company actually write you? If they write you something specific, they make themselves vulnerable in your direction, right? So that you could say, okay, I was discriminated in some way. Then if they say your Python wasn't good, then you would actually then argue again, well, my Python was good, here's this, and this would get into an argument. So what they're trying to do is they're trying to basically have this stand in front as the more general rejection. Because with this, how can you write back with this? How can you reject this statement? There were other people that had slightly more experience. This is a very general, very broad rejection, and that's why they do this. It's just so that they can't get sued, that you can't argue with them. The real reason is not this. This is not the real reason.
Basically say, hey, you did a great job, but we ended up going with someone with more relevant years of experience. I mean, if I was the company, I would do the same thing. Why take the dude with 3 years of experience when you can get the dude with 5 to 7 and pay them basically the same amount? So by now, hopefully I've proven to you that this trend.
Well, this is actually a thing, right? Yeah. If you can have someone with more experience for the same price, of course you would do this, right? Of course. Everybody would do this as a business owner.
does indeed exist, and it's extremely frustrating. So the question is, what are we going to do about it? Keep watching, because I'm going to tell you. Secret number 1, act like a senior engineer. Let's be honest, no one really knows what they're doing. We're all just trying to figure it out. A senior engineer is just better about it. They act like they know what they're doing even when they don't. And if you remember nothing, then remember this. Fake it till you make it. If you're
I'm not the fan of this. I'm not the fan of fake it till you make it. I think especially if you talk with someone who is a senior, they will find out very quickly that you have no idea or that you're faking it. So this is a bad idea. What I think makes sense here is acting a bit more like a senior engineer, basically trying to add more skills, trying to be more open, trying to not just focus on the technical stuff, but also on the like, what's the right thing? What's the right word here in English? On the soft skills, right? On the project management things, trying to look into this a bit more and trying to get a feeling for it through discussions. I think that is a big thing that separates the seniors from juniors or mid-level.
If you're already employed and want to protect yourself from future layoffs or these general market conditions, then you need to start specializing. Really understand your project and area of expertise deeply and become a subject matter expert. This is going to require hard work, but nothing in life comes easy. And if you want to keep earning the big bucks, then you're going to have to start doing this. Read.
I think that is a completely normal thing to do. When you're working at a job, you're going to most likely start broad, and then you're going to find out things and focus on things throughout daily work that you're going to become an expert in. And it's the same thing with my academy, when people come in and they don't know what to do. I can show them different tools like Snowflake, Databricks, Spark, AWS, Azure, and they naturally then can find out, okay, what do I like? What do I need to go deeper in? And because they have the general skills, then because they have the basics, they can actually do this and get further. And it's the same thing at the job. You're going to experience a few things, and then naturally you're going to go in one direction.
And write more code, ask teams probing questions, and become the person people go to get their questions answered. So when there's a new question or issue, don't go find the right person, become that right person. Do the job and actually own it, and then take it to the finish line and make sure it's successful. This means,
and that's also, like I said, one of the big things for senior people, right? They are going to be the ones who are taking this matter to themselves. They're not going to try to find somebody else who does that. They're going to start owning this and going to help you. That's a big thing for seniors.
This means you'll have to dive into the logs, read and review more PRs, and become an owner, because companies cannot let go of people who are indispensable. You have to become a person who either knows all the answers or knows how to get them and then goes and gets them. And whenever you're not sure if you're doing enough or how you're being perceived, just put yourself in your manager's shoes. Who would they want? Well, it's obviously someone who needs little direction, is a team player, and just gets things done.
Yeah,
Secret 2, build. It's much easier to build something when you're already working somewhere. Just keep making progress on your project, suggest areas of improvement, and then quietly improve the code base. But what if you're not working right now? You were recently laid off or just graduated college. You might think,
good point. Good points. And now we're going to come to this, what I mean. Here's the interesting part for everybody who is unemployed right now.
There's no way to build and to show off your skills, but that's where you're wrong. Stop watching those video tutorials and then cloning the repo and just hitting run and then feeling proud of yourself.
Yep.
Let's be honest, you didn't do anything. And yes.
Also, this is only the first part. I say this to so many students, and guess how many people listen? Not a lot. This is only the first thing. When you have done this, now you know the basics. Now you need to go one step further. You need to get a different data set. Think of a few questions you want to ask it. Let's think of a data analyst side, right? Get another data set. Try to answer the questions or come up with questions regarding this data set, and then build it. Then build this solution. That is the big thing that you need to do. These courses, they're just the beginning for you.
A lot of software engineering is copy pasting and looking up answers on Google, but it's still different. Pick something you've always wanted to build and then just go build it for fun. It's the age of AI. If you need any inspiration, then just go look at the thousands of AI projects out there. Pick some LLM model or the ChatGPT API and then go crazy. Worst case, you just improve your skills and get better. Best case, your app starts making money and you don't even need to keep looking for a job. Win, win, win. Secret number
I think only a fraction of people can do this or will do this, but generally, yeah, absolutely. This is, have fun. Do something you always wanted to do, always wanted to look into. Learn the basics and then try to apply it and try to figure out a problem.
Number 3, be a people person. In a market like this, you get hired by knowing the right people. Or when a hiring manager thinks, who'd be a good software engineer for this job? They think of you. It's a black box out there, and applying online is like playing the slot machines, mostly just luck. To truly control your destiny, you have to get out there and make a name for yourself. So cold DM venture capitalists and engineering managers on LinkedIn. Hit up your friends for referrals and show up to fireside chats and other in-person events. So while everyone else is busy clicking some buttons on an online form, you're out there meeting the decision makers.
This is actually one of the big things. You can do this, especially nowadays. Go to meetups, go to events, try to get in touch with people. Just applying on LinkedIn, clicking here, clicking there, that's only one of the parts. The hidden job market, the market through knowing people, through getting referrals here and there, this is a big thing to actually leverage.
We're all so well
But it's difficult.
connected. Most of us are just afraid to leverage our existing community to help us get to where we want to be. Stop being scared. So in summary, if you do these 3 things, if you act like a senior engineer, if you build more things and you become a people person, well then you'll be unstoppable. And there's not a single doubt in my mind that you won't be able to get that dream job in just a couple of months. The market is tough, yes, but it's not if you'll get a job, it's when. Now, the best way to learn software engineering doesn't take thousands of dollars or years of schooling. It's actually free and easy through Brilliant, the best way to learn math and computer science interactively. The platform is fun and interactive, with thousands of lessons from the basics to advanced topics, and new lessons are added every single month. Choose from a variety of topics like AI, neural networks, and programming. Whatever your skill level, Brilliant customizes content to fit your needs and lets you progress at your own pace.
It's interesting. Maybe this is something for people who are starting with Python and starting with SQL as well. Right. Bring them to this platform if this is really free.
Take a quick quiz when you join, and you'll be matched with content that fits your interest and skill level. For example, the New Thinking in Code course gets you designing simple programs to solve real-world problems right away. From map app navigation to writing a program that automatically responds to work messages. To try everything Brilliant has to offer completely free for a full 30 days, check out my special link in the description.
So it's not
and hurry,
completely
because
free.
the first 200 of you will get 20% off Brilliant's annual premium subscription. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon.
Okay, cool. Nice. Let's hit the like button here. Everybody, go and hit the like button and look into the video description. All right, so what are we taking away from this? Yes, the job market is difficult right now. People are looking for more senior people. Mid-level and junior engineers have it difficult. Yes, this is one of the things. But at the end, I think he had 3 really, really good points. And I want to have your feedback on this. Put your feedback in the comments here. What do you think? Is there something missing? Act like a senior engineer. That's a good thing. Not fake it till you make it. I don't think that's the right thing, but act a bit more like them. Take responsibility for stuff. Trying to find solutions. Then build. And then be a people's person. Be more outgoing. Connect with people. And learn new things through them, and basically also try to find a job through them. I think these are 3 really good things. There is, I'm guessing, a lot more things missing. Also, let me know in the questions below if you have already used this 3-step process without knowing it, and if you have benefited from it. Then see you in the next video.